Hello there, welcome. Welcome to my fireside. It is somewhere around 20 degrees outside right now where I am, so definitely having a fire going. And I felt a message come through this morning that I wanted to share and put on YouTube, so definitely sharing this beautiful fire with you guys. So yeah, message around being of service. Like, ooh, what comes up for you when I say being of service? When people are talking about being of service, or starting your day, like, how can I be of service? Like, what comes up around there? Because I think some of us, if we have unhealed stuff around people pleasing tendencies, and some self-worth issues, when you hear being of service, it can almost feel heavy, like, oh, something else being asked of me, like having to ask Spirit, how can I be of service, when it's like, oh, I already feel tired, or like it just feels like, oh, more people taking from me. It can maybe bring up that kind of feeling. And this message is specifically for that collective. Kind of a specific message, but maybe a lot of us can kind of resonate with this, because maybe a lot of us here are recovering people pleasers. We've entered into this stage in our life where we have learned how to set boundaries, and we've taken back power, control of our life, and we're not just feeling like we have to say yes to things because we're trying to micromanage people's emotions, and we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and we have all these ideas in our head of, oh, this is what I should be doing, yada yada yada. And maybe we've healed a lot of that, but maybe when it comes to even just saying those words, how can I be of service? Like, there's still something there around, oh, I'm going to have to give and feel depleted in some way because I'm giving. And so there's a message today from Spirit around looking at that, and Spirit really wanting to clarify and remind us that when we're being of service, divine alignment, divine service, it is we will never be asked to give more than we have the capacity to give. And divine service that is in alignment and what you're meant to be doing is an equal give and take. So you will be given whatever you give, that will be returned to you, and usually tenfold more. Like, it's not even just equal exchange. You will be given even more than, or returned to you more than what you even give. And that's what kind of was coming through today. Just this quick little reminder around, because I was thinking about, okay, how we start our day, and starting with intention, what we want for this day. And then, sometimes I ask, what is required of me today? What is this day asking me? How can I be of service? And then I had this little thought of almost like kind of this old belief still hanging around in there, like, oh, how can I be of service? It almost felt like work. Like, that feels like, oh, like something else on my to-do list I need to do today. Like, oh, I need to be of service, and it's just another task and something I need to do. And there was like a heaviness around it. And then Spirit was like, let's look at that. Maybe this is the message today, because maybe there's other people that can still kind of resonate with that. When Spirit, when God asks you to be of service, it is divinely aligned service. And that means Spirit will never ask you to deplete yourself or give in a way that does not feel good for you, that there's not this equal give and take, because Spirit, the universe, does not want you to be depleted. It wants you to have an overflowing cup. That's how we're meant to be walking around, giving from the overflow. And so Spirit was just coming through with that, like, hey, listen, you can ask, how can I be of service today, and not think it's just something else you're going to have to do. It was very much like this: the service I ask of you, you will feel good and full from it. It gives to you as much as you are giving out. And it was just this beautiful energy and that is how aligned energy should be. Like, in our relationships, it should be this equal give and take. you're finding yourself in situations where it's just you're constantly putting in energy and you're just feeling like you get nothing out of it, there's a misalignment there. So we need to look at that. Look at those relationships in our lives, like where are we maybe still having a little bit of people pleasing, or there's some old patterning still at play where we think, where are we like shoulding on ourselves? I should be doing this. This is how I need to be. This is what it is expected of me. This is just what you do. This is what you do for fill in the blank. I'm kind of getting an example, but I think I'm not going to share that. That might be a little personal. Anyways, yeah, just looking at where we are maybe not fully in alignment, where we could, better align ourselves, and how are we being of service? Like, what does that mean? How, because being of service really, like, ultimately it's just you being you. Like, that is the ultimate service. You are going about your day authentically you, because a side effect of you being you is you will be of service to the world in some way. You will be being of service by you being you. And that is like the beauty of divine alignment. It's not some extra task, responsibility that is going to be taking from you and depleting you and that you're going to need to recover from. It's very much just going to be a natural result of you just being you. Being of service, for an easy example I think we can all understand is like with artists. If you're a musician, a songwriter, you being you have this natural gift with words and linguistics, and you can really capture emotion with words and through your singing. And that is you being of service. How can I be of service? You ask Spirit, how can I be of service? It is you using that gift, because songs can be so healing. People feel seen and understood listening to a song. You can shift someone's vibrational state in an instant with music. So very much being of service is recognizing that divine service is nothing that's depleting you and trying to take more than you have to give. So really looking at the things in our life where maybe we're doing that, where we're still maybe overgiving, where we're doing things because there's a belief like, oh, you need to prove yourself or show I'm a good person, or there's all these weird subtle reasons why we do the things we do, and it's like still these like little subtle old patterning and beliefs that are still hanging out there. And you just got to be like, you know what, I see you, I see what you're doing. And really, because this is a time, especially going into the holidays, very easy to get overwhelmed and stressed out and feel like you're being pulled in a million directions. You need to say yes to things out of tradition. This is the way we always do it. You need to go here. And, those are the times when really it's the importance of having that spiritual practice and coming back to yourself and starting your day with presence and intention, because you've kind of already have that practice. So you're going to be like more fortified going into, busier times. And you're going to be better at like tuning in even when you're in it, of like tuning in, getting present with yourself and being able to stick to the boundaries that you've been working on, and hearing your clear voice, hearing, your intuition, being able to clearly hear it. And so not allowing yourself to be maybe swayed and manipulated to do certain things that maybe aren't actually divinely aligned, just because an opportunity is in front of you and it is a good thing, doesn't necessarily mean you need to say yes to it. And you saying no to something doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you just know for yourself when something's in alignment and not in alignment. I think a lot of us, we've gotten used to, if you've lived a lot of your life not in alignment. So you've gotten used to things feeling like a lot of resistance and a lot of struggle and a lot of like fighting an uphill battle. And that becomes your normal. So you don't have that comparison of like how good things can feel and how easy things could flow, because that's just your normal. But when you start doing this work and you realize what alignment truly feels like, and how easy and how much of a flow life can feel like, then you have that contrast. So then you very clearly know when things come up that are not in alignment, it gets easier to say no to, because you're like, yeah, you can very clearly feel like, yeah, no, this isn't right. And then you can say no, and you move on, and it's just a practice. But yeah, I think that's the message for today. It was just Spirit reminding us that nothing will be asked of us that we are not able to handle. And when things start to become really heavy and we're getting lost in it, it's like Spirit just wants you to remember, like, you could ask for help, because your burdens, you're not meant to carry this heavy. When things start to feel heavy, it's kind of like a red flag, like, okay, you're probably carrying more than you need to be carrying. Like, you're carrying burdens that are not yours to be carrying. And Spirit really says, like, give those to me. Like, your load is meant to be light. Your burdens are meant to be light. And when things start to really feel heavy, take a look at what's going on in your immediate life, and where maybe where you've been picking up some burdens, some responsibilities, some worries that you're really not meant to be carrying, and that they're not meant for you to be carrying. And yeah, just seeking help, asking for help, because, you know, we're not in this alone. And then, yeah, just thinking about how we can be of service, what that means, and not letting outside pressures maybe manipulate and try to convince you of how you should be of service, what that looks like. Really coming back to your own intuition, your truth on what service is to you, and just knowing that divine aligned service is never going to be something that's depleting and taking from you, because always, you know, Spirit always says we need to fill up our own cup, take care of ourselves first, because, you know, everything stems from that. You know, our relationship with ourself and our divine, our higher guidance, everything flows from that. So really taking care of yourself this month into the end of the year, really prioritizing your self-care, doing the things that make you feel good, fueling your body well, getting the sleep, tending to all those little things that really make a huge difference. Tending to the small things, coming back to presence, really, you know, like, as I've been saying in all my videos, it's being so intentional with how you're spending your time, how you're spending your energy, who you're allowing to have access to you. You know, you don't have to allow everyone to have full access to you. You don't have to let everyone know what you're doing. You don't have to let everyone in on, you know, the inner processes that you're working through. You can keep things to yourself, especially if you're working on, you know, projects. If you have like things around career, just things you're working on that are kind of in the beginning stages, it's okay to like protect that, keep that in a little protective bubble. You don't gotta let everyone in on what you're doing, and open it up to, you know, other people's energy. That's kind of a side tangent, but yeah, really just taking care of yourself through all the busyness and the chaos and things that life's going to throw your way. Just maintaining your center, always coming back to yourself and your higher guidance, and letting that be your compass, you know, not letting other people's opinions and perceptions and ideas of what's right, what's wrong, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. You need to be paying attention to over here, look at this. Like, you got to come to your own intuition, your own internal guidance, your compass, and let that guide you, and be so discerning of the energies you're letting in. Always, but especially just right now, just seems like super important right now. There's kind of been this importance, the last few months, really this whole end of this year, just this importance of really being intentional with your energy, how you want to feel, bathing in the frequencies you want to feel and create your life from, doing things that are supportive of those energies, and being very picky and choosy about who you allow to mesh your energies with. You can love people from afar. You can pull your energy back and keep people at a distance and still absolutely love them and be there for them and support them. It doesn't mean you need to be mingling up in their energies all the time, This is a time to be very strategic with what we're doing here. So yeah, message around self-care, taking care of ourselves, and just asking how we can be of service and kind of thinking about what that means for us, and making sure we don't have any beliefs around being of service that require like this self-sacrificing, depleting, like martyrism type energy, making sure it's coming from this really aligned, divine, empowered place, because that's how we can be of service. That's that's a high vibrational way of being of service. It's coming from that place. So I think I will leave it there. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you on the next one.